What's up y'all, Jang here from ultimaterc.com, continuing my build of the SC10 4x4 electric short course truck from Team Associated. What I'm about to open up right here is bag G. Gia! That's what I'm talking about. Oh man. Bags inside of bags. Got parts coming out. These are turnbuckles, they are camber links, and I am very, very happy to see that they come pre-assembled. Because I hate putting these things together. They mess with my fingers. These have nice, large, square sections in the center, and they do have the little notch on one side to show you, basically to allow you to line them all up on the vehicle so that they will all tighten the same way. I very much appreciate that. And then here's another bit of just awesome surprise, something that I was not expecting at all. Look at this. How awesome is that? They've pre-assembled as much as is reasonably possible with a kit. I mean, more than you'd expect. They've pre-assembled the uprights and the knuckles for the front suspension. They even got the ball studs on there. Thank you, Associated. You guys are freaking awesome. Just gonna go ahead and open up this little parts bag here, which includes the parts to make the CVDs. I'm gonna get cracking on what's next. Okay, so I've just been informed by my lawyers that I am not supposed to say CVD because CVD is a registered trademark of Moore's Ideal Products, aka MIP. These are CVAs, constant velocity axles. That is not a registered trademark. But check this out. Oh my God, this build just keeps getting better and better and easier. The assembly of the CVAs, okay? I just inserted that little center joint with some grease around it. Now I'm just going to put the stub axle over here. I'm going to take the little pin that goes in between there and stick that through. Hopefully I'll find the spot, and there it goes. That has gone through. Now, instead of doing the usual thing like you have to do with actual CVDs, I'm using the term properly there, having to, turn this to the side and then using a little set screw in from one side and all that. Check this out. This is ridiculous. They just have this little collar. And you slip the collar over and you're done. That is it. The collar is actually going to be held in place when it gets inserted in through the knuckle and all that good stuff. You don't even need to press it on. It just slips right on. It's easy. There's no extra set screws or anything. These CVAs have a nice angle to them. You can see the range of motion that's available there. Hopefully I'm capturing from the right angle. That's pretty impressive. I mean, that's right there at the edge, but still great design and so simple and easy. At this point, you're just gonna come back and put on a washer, and that washer is actually what's going to hold the little collar in place. After that comes the bearing, and then a little spacer. They call it the front axle crush tube. That's what they call it. I did not come up with that. And all of this good stuff just gets inserted carefully through there. And because it has a crush tube, I'm going to crush it. There you go. It's that simple. Now, this is an assembled CVA with an assembled upright and knuckle, and it's good to go, just like that. I'm actually going to go across brands here a little bit. I'm going to use some Tamiya AW grease, that's anti-wear grease, some of the stickiest stuff on the planet, and I'm actually going to use that to lube up the ends of these CVAs And this is just great stuff for preventing lash or dramatically reducing lash. It does hold on to some bad stuff, you know, some dirt and all that, but any grease will. And in this case, it's just going to, like I said, reduce lash. You can hear the actual sound, the ting ting sound inside of there as it goes back and forth, and it's going to help to reduce the force that tends to wear out outputs, diff outputs and drive cups like that. Okay, check this out, guys. Here's your front arm suspension pin mount, and it's a big thick piece of plastic. And folks who were familiar with the RC10 B4 remember that when that first came out, the biggest problem, the thing that broke first, was this plastic piece, because it's just not beefy enough to handle all the pressure of, you know, landing nose first or hitting the side of a pipe or something like that. So plastic bad, right? Yeah, but behind here is a nice piece of what feels like a fairly high carbon steel, not even aluminum. They went with steel. It's got some black oxide coating on the outside, so you're not going to see it very well. But yeah, that's steel back there that's actually holding the pins together and providing all of the structural strength for the pins and keeping them in place. And then this other plastic piece is just helping to locate that steel insert in place and giving a little bit of bushing effect to the ends of the pins if needed. So again, more beef that in this case is difficult to even notice from the surface. Okay, so I just installed the camber links and the steering toe links exactly as they said in the manual, and they were already the appropriate lengths. As I showed you, they were pre-assembled. However, I'm having a little bit of trouble with the alignment here. I've got hella camber in, lots and lots of negative camber, and lots of toe in. These, according to the manual, are supposed to be 34 millimeters, which they are, and the steering ones are supposed to be 35.5, which they are. I have a sneaking suspicion that the manual is wrong, that these need to be flipped so that some of that negative camber goes away and some of that toe in also goes away. So I'm going to flip those now. Voila! Much, much better. Still probably not perfect. Looks like there's still too much negative camber with that setup, but it's way better than it was before. Just got a tiny bit of toe out, it looks like, which is good. So be sure to use the shorter links for your steering toe links and use the longer ones for your camber. Next, I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing for the rear, but since I spent so much time doing it for the front and it was actually so easy, I'm going to blast through it this time going for the rear. Bag H. It's going to be the rear suspension. Okay, I thought the front CVAs were easy. These are even easier still because these don't even use a collar. These just use the bearing itself to capture the pin in place. And once I get that where it needs to go, yep, there it goes, slides right over. The bearing actually slides over half of the pin, effectively capturing it in place. So again, no need for set screws. Love it. And then you have a larger crush tube this time. Yeah, so there. That is done. Check it out. Bag I. Eye this. I've got eyes on some pre-assembled big bore shocks, threaded anodized bodies. I have no idea what sort of track conditions these are set up for, but got your extra parts in here, which includes extra pistons. There are some bushings that I'm going to need to use here, and there are some spacers Okay, actually here goes nothing. We've got the bushings up here at the upper side. You've got these funky little things, little lower shock mounting pins, which are going to be captured at the inside as seen on their 1/8 scales. This just goes through like that. You just push it in, and then there's just a little screw that you're going to put in from the top that's actually going to go through the A-arm, and that's just going to capture and keep that pin from pulling itself out. I'll go ahead and do the rears real quick. And there you go, rear suspension complete with your shocks. Now this whole time I've been working on stuff from the front and from the rear. Next I'm going to start working on the center.